Hello, hello, hello. How you doing, my people? I miss you. It's your girl, Yaminah Legohn. Welcome to the Red Light Special Live. I'm feeling good. Y'all know I'm in my Fenty robe. You know I like to wear my Fenty robe on this show because it makes me so feeling so sexy. Hold on, let me get my wine. What's good, y'all? I got my red wine. You know what I mean? I'm feeling good today. You know what I'm saying? I'm so excited because I have a special guest today, and she is phenomenal. She's a burlesque artist. She's a businesswoman, all these other things. Miss Perle Noire. She's coming soon. But before I bring her on, what's good, y'all? Okay? There's so much things going on in the world, and I just want to first I want to share my love, send my love to Nigeria. I know there's been so many things going on over there with police brutality, and it's just so upsetting to see that so many black people being gunned down by black people. Like, what's the deal? And we need to continue to spread awareness about what's going on in the motherland, just like we got to support each other what's going over here in the United States and other parts of the world. So I want to send my love over to Nigeria. I have friends and I have family that are from there. And I know this has been a difficult time, but y'all, I just want y'all to know I love y'all and I support whatever you want me to share. I will share it. So y'all feel, I got my red lip, my glittery eyes, and all them teams. I'm feeling nice. Okay, let me get this wine. Okay. So we know we already talked about the retrograde, and today is the last day of Libra season. We're going into Scorpio season, which is my season. The season of what we say, love, sex, and lust, and sensuality. That's what Scorpio season. That's what we do. Everybody always give us people always have the wrong impression when it comes to the Scorpios. But you know what? It's okay because it's our season. So all my Scorpios be ready to turn up, okay? Because I love turning up. So get ready to turn up, my people, my Scorpios, okay? But without further ado, last week we had a girl come through. We had Betty Rocks that came through, and that was dope. Shout out to her. We had a few other artists, Kardine that came through, Rita To It. We have more artists that's going to be coming through that's going to be interviewed on the show, and I'm super excited. So today I put on some tape so my cha-chas don't come out. You know, I like to show little tatas, but I got the double-sided tape, y'all. So y'all like, oh my God, her teeth gonna pop out. They ain't gonna pop out because I got tape. I got tape. Okay, well let me get my act together. Ooh. It's a nice day. It's a nice evening on the East Coast. It's a nice evening on the West Coast. Y'all know I'm on the West Coast. And look, we're in October. The year is almost over. 2020 is almost over. They're saying they're not even going to open up Broadway until like June 2021. So all my ladies out there, all my business owners out there, this is the time to use this time to make your own money by yourself because the government don't care. It ain't care. It don't care. So you can't just be sitting around here waiting for government money, okay? You can't be waiting around for no stimulus check, no unemployment. You got to make sure you make that own money, okay? I know I do. Anywho, before I even get into it anymore, I just want to get into my guest. She is lovely. She's beautiful. She's a burlesque dancer. She's been all around. Everybody know her. She has been a trailblazer, a living legend, setting the standards for women in burlesque. Not just women, but Black women, women of color. Look, I told y'all before, when it comes to this women of color thing, like I say Black women and women of color, because I'm sorry, when we say women of color, we want to represent women of color, but there is a different type of experience as a Black woman compared to women of color. And you might not like that, but that is the truth. So that's why I like to say Black women and women of color. And I feel that she has been setting the bar high for both sections because, Black women is leading both sides of the spectrum, which we always do. But anyways, want to introduce y'all to the Perle Noire.
Yes, honey. You are everything to me. Oh my goodness. Yes, looking scrumptious over there.
Hey, you looking scrumptious, girl, in the all black. Look at that.
I said, let me get my tatas out too. Let me go to a little lift.
Oh, see, I just got titties. I grew up with little perky titties. And since I gained a little weight, I got some titties here, and I'm like learning how to work with it.
I'm not mad at it. I grew up in the South, and I got that 90s white girl body. So big boobs my whole life, no ass. But we're gonna prevail. Little booties matter, everybody. Okay.
Little booties matter. They sure do. Little booties matter. Little booties, big booties, little titties.
Little titties, big titties, everything matters.
Everything matters. You are for real about that. And that's what I love to do, is to tell women that, we're all beautiful. And I think that so many women get so tied up in, what they see in the industry, and they think they're supposed to be one way. And then they end up fucking up their bodies and be having like foo-foo lips and foo-foo booty and foo-foo titties,
Yeah.
I like to spread the love of all bodies matter.
All bodies matter. They really do. They're all worth celebrating and loving. Not just celebrating, but loving.
But loving is definitely sure, because loving, and I know with you, I know you do so much work. You're a transformational coach. You're an intuitive health healer. You're also a self-love coach. So I know you know all about, encouraging self-love. And I feel like right now, at this point in time, it's so many distractions that keep you away from self-love, and we've been in this field for a while, and I feel like right now it's so interesting how we're being the leaders of teaching people how to love themselves when things were like regular to other people but maybe chaotic to us. We had to learn the self-care. So I want to ask you, like, at this point in your life, how have you figured out that you were living in your purpose?
I have to say, there are so many moments, but the most recent one would have to be, I was engaged about 3 years and set to go move to Indonesia. And one of the reasons why my ex-fiance called off the wedding was because I wanted to leave a trip where we were celebrating his birthday to go work with this Indian woman who contacted me to help her. She wanted some self-love classes and some healing through seduction classes because of a recent rape. And he couldn't understand my dedication to this stranger. And I said, but it's, I'm being called to heal this woman. And a lot of people listening know that, that's not a thing for ethnic people. We don't really reach out to receive anything called healing or self-care. And so once he called off the wedding, do you know that woman never contacted me? She disappeared, paid for the session and everything, and I never heard from her. And I took that as divine intervention.
What? Yeah. So he called off the wedding
for many reasons, but that was one. For him, he was like, you won't, because he was very well-to-do in Indonesia, and his family, they didn't really want me doing burlesque, and I agreed not to do burlesque, but I was like, but I want to work for myself, and they couldn't understand that, being as wealthy as they are. And so it was my independent spirit and I said, but I still want to do my healing workshops. I didn't understand why that was non-negotiable. Healing, I understood the burlesque.
Right.
I understood that, and I was willing, and I did retire for a while. But I was training so many, I had so many proteges that a lot of people didn't notice that I had retired because they still heard me talking about burlesque. But for me, it was the fact that my wedding was called off. And one of the reasons was because I wanted to continue to do healing workshops. And that woman never.
Do you think it was a test? Like, do you think he tested you, that like for her not to even come through after that?
Well, no, he never knew that. This was after the wedding was called off. That's why I think it's divine. She booked the session, paid, and then I never heard from this woman again.
But you got your money though.
I got my money and my freedom, because honestly, anyone, and that's how I know I'm living in my purpose. And I've been doing so many healing sessions since. And every time I do one, I let the people know, whether it's a group class or just a private class, I thank them. I say, thank you for allowing me to live in my purpose. Because
Mm.
if I was married, I'd be in a beautiful gilded cage. It'd be a beautiful cage.
You know, that's so interesting because, like, you know, when you date men from different cultures, especially being a Black woman in America, we have really changed certain things, changed the narrative that certain countries aren't, you know, they're stuck in their traditions. And I know for me, like being a dancer and trying to date and things like that, like when I would date and a man would be serious about me, like they would love that I performed. That would attract them to me.
Yeah.
But as soon as they're like, okay, you're mine and we're going to settle down, it's like they wanted me to stop. And I'm just like, this is how you were attracted to me. So now you want to stop me doing my work? Like that doesn't make sense. And it usually be the ones with a lot of money.
You know what I am finding? That it's not just even men. I think for someone like me and probably you too, people are attracted to our strength and our power, and then they become attracted to trying to take that power. And because of our powers, they can't take it. So then the next obsession is to bring us down a notch. I find that any powerful or dominant man that has ever been attracted to me, they go from telling me how powerful I am and how I'm their queen and, oh, you're the goddess. And then it is, hey, well, when we're together, can you not do this? Oh, well, hey, can you stop doing this? Well, you know, I really don't like when you do that. That was wrong when you did this. And I'm like, I think it becomes an obsession with bringing someone like us down a notch. And they may not even realize that that's what they're doing.
Yeah, and then they're when we see them do that, their power kind of goes wonk 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 because that's all insecurities.
Yes.
Because I feel like if you're like I'm an alpha woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a raw in your face motherfucker type of, you know, I'm that type of bitch, okay? You know, so I can't be tamed.
Right.
But I can adjust.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot be tamed, all right?
Yeah.
You know, I tried to do the whole like submissive. Well, I tried to do like the submissive thing. That didn't work. You know what I mean? And so, you know, I've had some subs in my life.
Mm.
That's a whole other conversation.
Another shot.
That's another show. But I'm just saying, like, from what you're telling me, like you're with this man, the wedding, and all these things, and so that really does show that you really did living and you're really living in your purpose because I'm pretty sure you love them and you were ready to change your life for him.
I'm not just ready. I did.
Oh, you
I completely did. I completely retired. I turned down a year's contract at the Sydney Opera House. I turned down a year contract in Vegas and with Dita Von Teese a month before the wedding was called off.
Oh, girl.
I was in it.
You were in it. Okay. Mm-hmm. So since you're very passionate about your work with your intuitive healing and your transformational coaching, what encouraged you the most to be there for your community?
You know what I have to say, one, that no matter what I try to do, especially what we we're just talking about, my ancestors have proven time and time again that I won't be able to escape my path. But also I have always been a healer and I've always had a desire to heal people. I think because I have a desire to give people what I didn't have. You know, I grew up in a household that was very violent. I grew up with a family where I was the only one that said things like, I love you, you know, hugging, touching, that was kind of frowned upon. It was natural in my family. They're kind of coming around to it now, but when I was growing up, that wasn't something that I had. And so I really had to learn how to nurture myself. And so I'm really passionate, not only with teaching people how to nurture themselves, but to provide a space for kindness and nurturing in my work. But I also want to just say this as a disclaimer too. One thing for people, when we think about healers, please understand that when someone is a healer, that doesn't mean that they don't trigger or hurt people. You know, I'm a person, and sometimes you don't know what you'll do to trigger or to hurt someone in a healing environment or outside of it in your real life, you know, in your intimate relationships.
Right.
You know, I think being a healer just means you're aware of those interactions, and you try to make amends with yourself, the
Mhm.
other person, and then you go out and teach people what you've learned from the good and the bad experiences.
Right. So since you know that, do you feel like the relationships, have you been in situations where you attracted somebody, like whether it be a friend or a lover, and you're attracted to them, but then they turn out to be a fan or someone that needs your healing, that needs to be in the workshop instead of your vagina?
I really need to make that. I think no, that is you. You're gonna have to make that a shirt, friend. You need to be in my workshop instead of my vagina. Okay,
Okay.
coin that, girl. Get
That's
over
what
it.
I've been feeling though. Like that's what I've been feeling. Like I've had, I have had. I'm a relationship person.
Okay.
I like being in a relationship because for what I do, I like one man that I'm dealing with because of the attention that I get. At the same time, protection. I'm an empress. I need to have warriors around me because I'm little, I'm short, so people think that I'm younger than what I am. So, the little pedophiles and shit be coming for me too. So that's why I like to have a man,
Yeah.
by my side because of those things. But I have learned that, certain people that I started to date, it was like, oh, you're cute. And then I realized, oh, you just a fan. You need to come to my dance hall class, honey.
And then just call it day. Unfortunately for me, even though, and what's frustrating about my dating life and love life in general is that, so I'm 41 and I've only had 3 relationships. I am always single. I'm wondering if that's because of my work. And so I haven't had a lot of relationships. I won't say that the people who have been attracted to me are fans per se, but I will say that any kind of connection I've had a lot of times, just with the men, not with the women,
Mm-hmm.
it's going back to what I was saying earlier. It's always this initial attraction to the power,
Right.
freedom, and then it's a how can I change this person?
How can I change this person to fit me?
Yes, and their beliefs. You know, I'm pretty strong willed, and it's very hard. I think when you are a dominant person and then you meet someone like me who's very sure of themselves.
Right.
And I'm just kind of different, especially in the burlesque world. The things I say, I'm always upsetting people because of things that I say. And so, yeah, I don't know if they're fans per se, but I will say I've kind of experienced everybody wants to change me.
Everybody wants to change. And that should be annoying, to be honest with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
That should be annoying. And so, with that being said, because you're really about your work
I
and
am.
you've been about your community, how has your work in healing helped your community? What has been the results of that? Like the people who come to you and they be like, oh, this has helped what has been, well, I guess I would say the question would be, what has been the most like memorable experience with your work where like, okay, I'm doing good with my work?
So I have been named the Queen Mother of Burlesque, Mama Pearl. These are nicknames that I definitely didn't ask for, but I've decided to claim and honor.
Right.
I have a lot of daughters in burlesque, a lot of proteges. And one of my daughters, her name is Poison Ivory. She is the reigning queen of burlesque. She's the only Black woman who won that title at the Burlesque Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and she's beautiful and lovely. And we have had a real mother-daughter relationship. Both of us don't have a close connection to our real mothers. And so we really had this like serious, I'm mother, your daughter, blah, blah, blah. We butt heads a lot. And so the way I heal and the way I teach and my community service in burlesque and in general is offering a lot of free mentorships and
Right.
a lot of free healing work. And she just recently told me the most beautiful thing online. I was just talking about how some people in burlesque hate that I call myself Mama Pearl, or that people call me that.
Mm-hmm.
And she went online and she was like, I just have to say that she said that her connection to me and me taking the time to mother her and to really think about healing her has helped her become a better mother to her child. She's a new mother.
Wow.
And she was like, she said that I taught her how to be a mother, and her real mother can never say that.
Wow. That's powerful.
Yeah.
And so knowing that, have you, I would say, approached your work differently, knowing that people take your work that seriously and that deeply in their life?
Absolutely. I do a screening process now. I also really sort of lead with what my boundaries are, because the thing about it is when you're seen as this mother type or this healing people, that means something different to everyone. And a lot of times people don't want someone that they look at as a mother or a healer to say things like, no.
Right.
They don't want you to be unavailable. And this is the part. No one wants you to honor when you're hurt, when you're seen as a mother or healer.
You know what? You're absolutely right about that. And I think that's a good too. That's a good one, because I feel like when you're a teacher, whether you're a mother or you're a teacher, but when you're in that position of leadership and nurturingship, because that's what you're doing, you're nurturing. It's kind of like you cannot be human.
No.
And so, like for me with my business, I've had so many artists that I have nurtured and worked with and all those kind of things. And then when they do something that's like crazy and I like tap that ass, they be tripping. And I'm like, well, what you think was going to happen? Like, I'm a human being too, and I need you to understand my energy so I can water you and water me. That's my thing. I'll water you, you water me, because I'm going to continuously water. But if you keep filling up my glass with love and understanding I am human too, then I can't help with the healing process.
Yeah, and one thing about me too, and Poison and I had a really beautiful, honest conversation about it, is like too, when you're the type of person that I am, my gift and my curse is that I see people in a light that other people don't see them in. And you know what I mean? So that's a curse too, because a lot of times people do things in front of me that they don't do
in front of other people.
Other people don't know that person. I just know that person. And so the way I heal and the way I mentor and create, I am very nurturing, but I'm also sometimes extremely honest. That can come off as very harsh. And when you're the only person saying something, let's say I'm the only person telling this performer, hey, you're not a 10 yet.
Right.
You're a 6. I know you got that standing ovation. 6. So,
girl.
6 now. And let me tell you how I know you're a 6, because I was once a 6. That's why I can recognize you're 6.
Right.
You know what I mean? And what I will also say is, and I never say anything to people that I won't say to myself or that I haven't said.
Right.
The
so honesty of it all.
Yeah. So it's like when you're the only person telling someone something, you sound crazy. You could also sound toxic. If everyone else is like pumping this person up and you're like, nah, dog.
No, that ain't it.
It's a no for me, dog. You Randy Jackson them.
Right.
You look crazy. You look like the toxic person. You look like the person who's in the wrong here.
And then they'll turn around and tell the people how you wronged them or whatever. Yeah, no, I totally understand. And I think that it's good that you take that stance. I mean, I don't do healing sessions, but I definitely work with a lot of artists. Yeah. And I definitely work with helping people tune into their star power. That's my thing. Like, tune into your star power. So when people will come in, they think they flossy and this and that. Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to put them down, so I kind of make it a little comical, you know what I mean? But I'd be like, look, honey, if you look, I started in Hollywood. So if you trying to strut with them heels, I need to see the strut. I don't need to see the little lallygag and all that shit. I need to see a nice strut.
The little shaking.
Yeah.
Strut. Real strut.
Exactly. We don't got no time for that. So, how has COVID affected your business? How have you been able to, you know, move with COVID?
Actually helped my business or just in general, any entrepreneur. So I offer online courses, email courses, and online workshops because the fan base for Noire was in Tokyo and Australia. So I couldn't work with like my biggest fans. So that's why I started this online business.
Right.
And now because of COVID, it's popular now to everyone. There's been a huge market forever in the online world. And unfortunately, entertainers and a lot of entrepreneurs are just, they've decided to do it out of necessity.
Yeah.
For me, I was already doing it. So my world wasn't, I'm one of the lucky ones. My world wasn't really turned upside down. But I've been trying to encourage a lot of people, especially artists, to understand, well, your favorite artist is your favorite artist because you watch their music videos and because you can download their music on iTunes. See, these are all digital products.
Right.
Your favorite artist is your favorite artist because you see them as a brand ambassador for this company and this company. So we have an opportunity to get on that level.
Right.
If we choose to.
If we choose to. And to be honest, it's good that you've already been doing that so you can already be ahead of the game. Because I feel like with this COVID, like especially right now, they're saying that the cases are going up on the East Coast and basically all around the world. Yeah. My little brother's in Italy right now, and he was telling me that the cases are going up. And so, like, I feel like people jumped on the internet game, like, real quick and didn't really, like, think about how am I going to market my business?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, you know, if you've already been on that, like, I wasn't doing like virtual classes, but I was already preparing myself for a virtual platform before the COVID hit. And then it just seemed like so much stuff was happening. And I was like, hold on, I need to take a break. I need to go on a hike. I need to go to the beach. You know what I mean?
Recharge.
Yeah, recharge. So I've been on the recharge.
Absolutely.
Well, I wanted to ask you, since you're on the East Coast, have you been on the train in New York since COVID?
I've been on the train twice, and I've been very lucky. Each time I'm on the train, there's like 2 other people on the train with me, but I have friends that they have to go back to work and they're going during those peak hours and they're like, it is still packed. People are on there with a mask. I think it's a shame that the reason why I don't know how long we're going to be here because no one is sitting down. I just wish, I mean, even the president of the United States won't sit down. It's like, no one needs to go to work. Everything needs to be digital right now. I know everyone's going stir crazy, but we're just going to prolong this healing process.
Right.
You don't sit down.
Right. Sit your ass down.
Sit down.
Sit your ass down.
No.
Whoop that ass. Okay?
Sit down.
I don't have time. I wear my N95 mask, girl. I don't have time for motherfuckers. I don't got time. I don't have time. Okay. I'm asthmatic and I'm on the West Coast right now, so I'm keeping it cute. So I want to move along. So you've been in the industry for a while, and I know that you have experienced things as a Black woman. I would say, what has been your major challenges as a Black woman in your industry?
I'm about to make some people mad, girl. Because the answer won't be what people think it's going to be. I think people want me as a Black woman, a dark-skinned Black woman, to say, I've had to fight against the oppression of the whites, when really my biggest critics and the people who have hurt me the most in burlesque have been Black.
Yeah.
So for me, the challenge is being a dark-skinned Black woman and not being accepted from your own community, not being uplifted, and people who are Black not understanding that the reason why they have such a visceral reaction to me is because of colorism.
That part.
So that's my biggest challenge is having my voice heard
Amongst your own people.
amongst my own people. And now when I say that, I'm not talking about every Black person.
Yeah, but yeah.
I've had some beautiful Black and brown people in burlesque who have supported me to no end, but because of everything I have done as a dark-skinned Black woman, I think I should have a little bit more respect in the Black community than I do. For one, because I don't look the part of when we think about any entertainer who has ever made it first, who's been Black, is usually light-skinned men.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, just put some respect on my name for that reason alone. But I think that's part of the reason why I'm not getting the respect. It's because I don't look the part, and people don't even know that that's why they have this visceral reaction to me. I not look the part, but I talk about my experiences, and then I do things like say, yes, so I did this, I did this, I did this, and this is why you should listen to me. And people are like, well, I don't want to hear your resume. Well, why not? You would listen to white people talk about their resume. Why wouldn't you want to listen to this dark-skinned Black woman talk about her resume? Why doesn't that inspire you? Why does it ignore it? Like it annoys you to hear me talk about my accomplishments. Let's dive in deep and ask ourselves why.
It's colorism.
Let's ask ourselves.
Yeah.
So that has been the biggest challenge.
I totally understand that because I can definitely relate to that, and that's one of the reasons why I had left LA and moved to New York, because I had felt that everything was about colorism. Yeah. As a brown-skinned girl, I was always dope, and I knew I looked good. I think I would say the fact that I've had a father that always encouraged me and told me I was beautiful. I think that is what kind of like set me aside, which I don't take that as like, oh, my daddy in my life. No, because like I have friends whose fathers were not in their life, or if they were in their life, they put a lot of pressure on them. You know what I mean? So I feel like as a Black woman, our mothers are our mothers, but like Black men really need to support Black women. Like that is a serious situation. You know what I mean? And I feel like I've had more issues with Black people in our industry than white people. And I'm not saying that I trust white people more than I trust Black people, because I feel like with my white audience, it's more like a fetish.
Yeah.
It's more like, I'm a buy at the bar, you're beautiful, and all of this things, even the white men, it's a fetish. You know what I mean? So both parties is not genuine. You know what I mean? When I deal with the Black community, I have to deal with the jealousy. I have to deal with the men don't know how to handle my body type. You know what I mean? Because like, especially for chocolate women, we are really like a what they call the aphrodisiac, the sexual, it's always a sexual thing. Just like everybody loves chocolate men. White women like chocolate men. Asian women like chocolate men. If you think about it, if other ethnicities, when they date a Black man, they want to date a chocolate man.
You don't think about that.
That big ass dick. Okay, that's why they go for them. What do you say?
I never thought about that.
Yes, brown skinned women, I feel, in my opinion, just from experience, because if we go to the in-house Negro, to the field Negro, like, the light-skinned women were in the house and they were being raped, but the men were also going down to the field and raping the women in the field and having babies with them. You know what I mean? So like that chocolate is like, it's a sexual thing, but it's not enough to be on your arm when you making that dough and I'm a trophy or whatever. You know what I mean? And I've learned that, even in the industry, it was like the light-skinned girls were the cute ones on the arm, they're the trophy ones, and then they cheating on them with the chocolate girl. You know what I mean? And then that creates a division between Black women.
That's true.
Colorism, which was not necessarily our fault. If we go back to the Jim Crow era, I just feel like as a community, we have so many stigmatism that needs to be worked on.
Absolutely.
To be talked about.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, and again, so the white people in burlesque have definitely hurt me. I've had some very traumatic experiences, but those experiences don't linger with me.
Yeah, it's different when it's your people.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh, that
People.
man he was being a white man. I can justify it. Oh, he's being white. Okay, I'm moving on.
Moving on. Give me my money.
Yeah.
That's how I do it. I'm like, give me my money. Okay? Because you're going to buy at the bar, you're going to buy a $35 ticket, and you're going to tip. So give me my money. Black folks, the community, y'all going to argue at the door. Oh, is this much? I don't want to pay this much. You don't want to. Okay, I'm not saying all black people. Okay,
I haven't experienced that. I've only experienced the colorism that they don't realize that that's what's happening. But I must say, the black people in burlesque who support me, and the Latins and the Asians, they are paying whatever.
That's good.
They're doing fundraisers for me for my Noire pageant. They're very supportive. But I do feel like, but that's seen and everyone sees that and they know that. And when you ask that question, I just felt like I had to be honest.
Oh yeah, girl, we're gonna be honest with you know. I know we on the Black Lives Matter, but we gotta be honest with our people. And I know from like producing shows, when I produce shows within the black community, I had more of a hard time. Not saying that they didn't pay, they did pay, but I had a difficult time. But when I brought my show into a different kind of community, the black people, my black folks came to that community and it did not act the same because it was like I leveled up. So in their eyes, because I leveled up, I was treated a certain way. But when I did the show within the community, it was like we could treat her any kind of way.
Girl, let me flip my hair.
That's just from experience, you know what I mean? That's just from experience, you know what I mean? So I want to move on to this next question. Okay, thank you so much for giving that advice. And so I'm very happy that you're continuing to represent for Black women, for chocolate women, and you're so beautiful and you're so confident in yourself. I love that. I love confident Black women that love to connect with other confident Black women because you know why? We are the leaders in the small business, entrepreneurship. Why wouldn't we work together? We don't need to be competing.
No. We need to collaborate and support and uplift. Yes, that's how we're going to truly survive.
That's how we're going to truly survive. So I want to ask you, what's your sign?
I'm a true Cancer, the mother sign of all signs.
Okay. Do you know your sun and do you know your moon and your rising?
I do not. So I lost my birth certificate during after Katrina, and for whatever reason, when I sent to get another one, it arrived without my official the actual time that I was born. I was like, what kind of birth certificate is this? So right. I do not know, and no one in my family seems to remember.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but I know that I am definitely the epitome of a Cancer.
I heard that. I like Cancers. Y'all feel, I'm a Scorpio, so that's that water sign. Mm-hmm. So who do you feel as a Cancer, who do you feel you're most compatible with?
I mean, today it sounds like nobody. It just seems like it's not working. But on paper, when you go through and look at everything, they say my most compatible sign is a Taurus.
Okay. Like they also say Cancers and Scorpios are compatible.
Oh, they do.
Mm-hmm. But see, Scorpio men are different than Scorpio women. So I would say
more Cancer men. I've heard that. I've not really dealt with many Cancer men, but I hear that they're very different than the Cancerian women.
Very different than, definitely. And like as a Scorpio, my dad's a Cancer, but I've been attracted to men who were Cancers, and I've been in a relationship with a Cancer. Mm-hmm. And, it was beautiful. However, the emotions, being a water sign, you're so connected to your emotions. So if you're not mature with your emotions and you're dealing with another water sign, it could be a little bit of a challenge.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah. So do you know who are you least attracted to in the astrological sense?
Well, I feel like I'm attracted to all signs, but on paper, I'm least compatible with Aquarians, and that's which makes sense because the communication style is so different. And my ex-fiance was an Aquarian.
Yeah. Aquarians are dope people. I think they're artistic. I think they are humanitarians. They're awesome people, but the communication part, the way they communicate, it just doesn't flow with the water sign. And I feel like with Aquarians, they're awesome friends, but when it comes to lovers, that's the part that can be difficult. So I can see as a Cancer why that can be challenging, because for water signs, you have Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancers. And I feel like Cancers are like, Pisces are sensitive, Scorpios are sensitive, Cancers are very sensitive. I think with Pisces, their emotions kind of go side to side. It'd be interesting, but I feel like Scorpios, we go really deep in our emotions, and Cancers can go really deep too. Yeah. So like when you're with an Aquarian that is very flighty, that air sign, and they're not really ready to dive deep, you know what I mean? That can definitely be a challenge. but I got you. So Taurus is your
that's what they say. That's what they say. But again, I have been notoriously single the majority of my life. So
your life. Okay. Well, we're gonna send you some nice penis your way, girl, that you can sleep with.
Yeah.
Or a vagina.
I'll take both.
Or a vagina.
I'll take both.
It's a good dick. It's a good pussy for you.
For me. Thank you, everybody.
Good for you, girl.
Thank you so much.
So since we talk about the dick and we talk about the pussy, we got poom health. Okay. So we like to tell our audience ways to take care of your vagina. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this, because I'm an 80s baby. I grew up during the Lil' Kims, the Rod Diggers, the Foxy Browns, and all that, where they all talked about, oh, my pussy, my pussy, my pussy. But you ain't telling bitches how to take care of it.
That part, okay.
You know what I mean? And you got these girls rapping these, then we got the WAP coming out, my wet ass pussy, and bitches don't know. Okay, I talk a lot of shit. Some women don't understand about the WAP. They don't understand how their vagina work. They don't understand about pH balance, and they don't understand about don't sleep up there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I would like to get your response on how to keep the poom right.
Well, what I will say about the poom health, I think it's about being mindful with one who is near the poom. Maybe we don't want to let someone eat us out or fuck us after they've had hot Funyuns and Vienna sausages.
Wow, hot Funyuns and Vienna, oh, child.
I grew up in the ghetto, honey, and that's what we used to snack on. And so maybe we want to think about things like that. And that's a thing that a man would never think about, that what he eats can, sort of have an effect on his woman's pH balance. They think it's all about us. And I think women have to start also speaking up when they feel that something isn't right.
Yeah.
Say something. If it's starting to hurt or starting to burn during sex, actually say something. Actually make sure that the man washes or the woman wash their hands before they're touching your body. Make sure you know about their oral health before they are going down on you. And then also maybe stop doing things like going to what is it called? Secret's Eve, Violet's Eve, Summer's Eve. It's like, no, that's not really for us. That actually hurts the vagina, I think. So I think it's about mindfulness and respect for your body, and then also being mindful of not just your diet, but your partner's diet. Because just like it changes the way they taste and smell depending on what they eat.
Yeah.
Like, girl, that's going to happen too. Like, your vagina is going to react
like that and react like that. Yeah. Girl, back in the day when I had my little boyfriend, right, he wanted to stick his finger up there. I'm like, nigga, you better wash your hands.
Wash your hands, but a lot of people aren't thinking about that.
Well, what's under the fingernails? Like, I'm not trying to have dirt up my vagina. You know what I mean? Like, We need to clean your fingernails. You need to brush your teeth before you start licky.
Yeah. These are things no one's thinking about, I don't think, you know?
They don't. And then we got these songs that are like encouraging girls, oh, my pussy is right, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
But do you ever taste your poom poom? Do you stick your finger there and see what it tastes like?
Do you know what you taste like? And then also maybe, you know, we got all these songs talking about beating it up. Maybe you tell somebody not to beat you up. Maybe ask someone to nurture you.
Thank you.
Maybe we start with the nurture. I don't know. And then also understanding too that I think a lot of times there's a pH balance after sex because we're too afraid to tell a man, hey, foreplay actually is supposed to last 45 minutes to an hour. That's how long women really, most women, not all, because some women, every woman is different, but we usually need
foreplay.
And a lot of people don't understand what that is.
Yeah, foreplay is like guys be thinking, oh, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna beat it up. Like, no, like especially as women, we don't really understand our sexual, like what we want sexually until we get older. You know what I mean? And I feel like when we're in our 20s, is more you have sex more so for the guys than you do for yourself. And like even me in my 20s, I wasn't the type that was running around having sex with different kind of people. Like some of my friends were having sex and all that, but I was too afraid to get pregnant. So like just because I shook my ass and all that, I was not bouncing on different dicks. I was not doing that. And I was too afraid of catching something, and I was too afraid of dirty niggas. Okay. So when I did date someone, they thought I was crazy. They're like, you wash your hands, you brush your teeth, take a shower.
And that's what it's supposed to be like. And not just also understanding too that foreplay doesn't just happen that right before sex. It's like also foreplay is also the connection beforehand.
How you talk to your partner, how you touch them.
Yeah.
You know, communicate with the mood, what y'all doing. Y'all smoking some herb, you're gonna and then alcohol is another thing too. So if you drinking a whole lot of beer and alcohol, you're not drinking no water, that's gonna change your pussy, lady.
So that's my advice on that subject.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Well, y'all heard it here from the well-known burlesque performer and owner of the Noire pageant. I want to ask you, when's going to be your next pageant? Do you know within this COVID? Are you just going to like wait?
I'm going to wait it out. I have it in my mind that I'll do it again in New York City the second weekend in August for 2022.
Okay.
I'm not entertaining next year. No, because when I have it again, I want to make sure that we are able to really
enjoy.
Without like, oh, let me put on some gloves, you know, oh, someone coughed.
Yeah.
I want a true experience.
I feel like a lot of people right now are being so like, look at me, I'm still working, and they're not really working like that. And I'm like, okay, y'all, we need to like chill and like take our time, and this is really the time to focus on you, where your audience can really just love you, your brand, who you are. You know what I mean? And then when you can really open up, they'll all come to your experience.
I agree.
Yes. Ooh. Wow. Thank you so much for coming on the show. You are so beautiful. I want you to let our audience know what type of services you offer and where they can find you, or you know what do you want to tell our audience about what you do?
Okay, so first of all, just before that, I just want to thank you again for having me, and thank you for creating this platform to show love to us. I really appreciate you and your work. And so what people can do is they can head over to blackburlesquequeen.com, or they can just type in to their server Healing Through Seduction. And that is my healing workshops and my healing sessions. And I just want to say, when I say the word healing, it is not an indication that I am trying to fix you or that something is wrong. What I am offering when I say healing through seduction, I'm offering a chance of experiencing nurturing and community and self-discovery and healing by sort of connecting to the five senses. So healing through touch, through sight, through sound, you know, what have you. And that's what healing through seduction is all about. And so that's what I'm really focusing on right now.
Awesome. So you said blackburlesquequeen.com?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, this is where they can go. Black Burlesque Queen.
Yeah, there it is.
There we go. We can follow you at the Perle Noire. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for coming on the show. You know, this is not gonna be the last time y'all see her because you know I love powerful women, and we're gonna have other things going on. But I want to tell you, thank you so much for coming through. I really appreciate your work. I think you're awesome, and I definitely think you deserve all your flowers.
Thank you.
Right now, okay. And as a black woman to another black woman, I want you to shine. I want you to get your money, and I want you to be successful and healthy and get some good ass dick or some good ass pussy, whatever one that satisfied that itch.
Yes, I will take these blessings. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming on, lady. I enjoyed you.
I enjoyed you. Have a beautiful night. Mwah. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. Bye. All right, y'all. Y'all heard it here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Y'all can see it at the bottom, the Perle Noire. You can follow her. If you want to book a session with her, do some healing, do some sexual healing and some other type of healing. Remember, you got to come in with a positive attitude because we are human too. And we want to be here to help y'all through your journey. So thank you so much for tuning in, y'all. I will be back next week, same time, Thursdays at 6 o'clock PST and 9 o'clock EST. So that means 6 o'clock Pacific West Coast, 9 o'clock East Coast, y'all. Okay, we have another guest coming on next week. So make sure y'all follow your girl on the Instagram. And you can also follow the company Art of Legohn. So follow me at Yaminah Legohn on Instagram and the website. You can follow my company Art of Legohn as well. I will be back next week. Enjoy your week, and I will see you soon. Ciao.